Hello, YouTubers. This is Joe Bravo, Mo Bravo's Knife Reviews. Today I have a new knife day. It's really interesting because it is a knife that I had on the channel earlier in my YouTube career. It is a Sharknivco Waka, and it's made by Edison Barajas. This is the version 3.3. In the 3.3, they made a couple of modifications. The thumb stud is a little different, and it most certainly is a lot softer on the fingers. And this is the frame lock version. They are still using proprietary screws for the pivot. This is a dual action flipper. It has the thumb stud flipper tab for front flipping, and it's got the thud studs for spidey flicking and thumb flicking. Oh yeah, that is a lot easier than the original. Oh yeah, oh, I like it. I think it's lighter. I mean, my first version, if you look back, was a full titanium version, and man, it was nice. The front flip was even better, but deploying on the thumb studs, it was tough to do. It was sharp. This, I do not have that at all. Oh wow! You know, if I had to compare this to something as far as the thumb stud action, I would say it feels similar to the Asuka at a Maverick Concepts that I had in the placement of the thumb stud. In relationship to the scale. The thumb stud and the scale are really close together, and there's not a lot of blade placement, but there's enough to give you a nice ramp up. Whereas on the Jonas Ion, there's a lot of blade here, and it's far enough down. It gives you a whole lot of surface area to get behind there to flick open. I don't find that that's an issue here, though, because Edison made a comment that they reduced the detent, and now his wife has the ability to deploy this knife, which is fabulous to hear, because that was another thing that really was difficult. The detents on the Waka 3.1s were pretty stout. And it's funny, I wish I had it back again to compare the two. And, back then I really wasn't into spidey flicking and thumb flicking as much as I am now. Wow, this is really nice. I got to get the scale. Stand by, because with that carbon fiber front scale, I could definitely tell that it's lighter than it was the first time I had it with the full titanium version. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it's around 3.2. Now put it on the scale. Well, that's grams. Hang on. Change the units. And let's go to ounces. And she is 3.1 ounces. So I think she's going to make a really great everyday carry. Great fidget piece because of the action. Really nice front flipper tab. Let me see if I could panty drop it. It's going to take a little bit of practice. So it is slim. It is slim. So if you don't like a slim knife, this might not be the one for you. Let's get a look at that back spacer. And the pocket clip is really nice design. It's not that pointy. Sometimes when it's angled off like that, my Boudica used to have that picking up out of the pockets, gets a little pointy. There is no over travel still. So that was one of the things that I thought was interesting. Such a new knife, recent knife, that there's no over travel stop. There wasn't one on the 3.1. I guess there's not one on the 3.3 now. Ain't the end of the world, but certainly something to look at as a feature maybe Edison could implement on a 3.4 or 3.5 version. Just to give you some size comparison, here's the Ion, here's the Waka, and here is the Maverick Concepts 3.3. It looks to be longer, which is interesting because my hand doesn't seem to like blades that are over 7.5. Putting this on the tape, it does look like it's 7 3/4, but it's funny. It's all about how it sits in the palm for me and how far I have to reach. And maybe it's because of the way the flipper tab is for the front flipper. The location of this thumb stud is perfect for me. I love it when the knife doesn't move in my palm when I flick it. I love it that I don't have to stretch too far. I recently had a Persian by Cody Utzler, and I just felt like it was just a little too far forward to get up there. I mean, the space between here and because of the way the Persian blade shape swoops open or swoops up, the heel of the blade needs to be kicked out to the left. I mean, I could get there, but it just felt like it was such a far reach for me. Whereas, it's just interesting. The Waka is the same size as the Persian from Cody, and the location of the thud stud just works so much better for me. Look at you got two knives, they're the same size. Here's the ruler. We're at about 7 3/4, but it's just amazing that this little swoop, because of the Persian blade shape, versus the drop point of Edison's, really fits my hand a hell of a lot better, and that's why that one's going to be leaving. Something else that I wanted to just mention that wasn't there on the 3.1 that I had, Edison did this top swedge, really gives it a nice look, and yeah, really happy with it. I think it's going to be something that rivals a lot of the high end everyday carries out there. What do you put it in? Is it going to be a competitor to the Duckling? The Duckling is smaller. It's got a smaller EDC footprint, but it's about the same weight. Golf putter Roosevelt, 3.2 ounces. It's definitely shorter, but it is the same weight as this guy. My carbon fiber variations that I had, they were around 2.8 ounces. Speed hole one was 2.6 ounces. So, still a light footprint, but 3.2 is certainly something that I'd feel comfortable carrying in the pocket. Just to give you another comparison, I think the Ion is a great size, but I think she's a little porky at 3.5 or 3.8 ounces. Yeah. The 3.3 Maverick Integral, this guy is 4 ounces, but she's got a lot of dark Damascus on there. The Boker Jive is a Porky B, 4.6 ounces. The Boudica that I absolutely adore, even she's at like 4 ounces. So, it's funny to see. You know what? Here, I know it's going to be funny, but the TI Monolock, this is the 765 model, the one that has the ability to do tip up carry. This is a great EDC, and you think about it from coming from Benchmade. They made two versions, and they made a version that was considered an EDC version. So it's just be interesting to see the weight of the 765 is 3.2 ounces. So, here you got two similar sized blades. The Waka is obviously bigger. This is, the same weight, and you get a whole lot more belly, a whole lot more edge, and the action is so much better. Oh man, really enjoying that. So, Edison, thanks for the opportunity to pick this bad boy up. If you do get a chance to view it, I like it. Really enjoying it. I like what you did to update it over to 3.1 that I had. If you did happen to figure out a way to do an over travel, I think that would make this knife a little bit better. But it's really great to be able to see your progression and see, where you started out with the 3.1, where you're at with the 3.3, and I can't wait to see where you're going next. So thank you again for the opportunity. You guys have a great day, and talk to you soon.